Hello, good morning. I'm on my way to go get my license for my RV van, and I thought I'd talk to you a little bit, let you know what's going on with the van situation on the way up to get them. So I'll be right back. Probably notice during this video you'll see the top of my little solar dancing monkey that's on my dash, so I hope he doesn't bother you too much. He's a pretty good little monkey, but he can distract you, I guess, if you weren't careful. But anyway, I wanted to let you know what is going on with my van. And I had, of course, when I bought it, it was just a regular cargo van. And I took it to have it built out, and it was supposed to take 10 weeks, but that was the 1st of July, and this is Thanksgiving week, November. So we've had a lot of things that come up that this was kind of his first custom build out, and we've run into some things that was a little more maybe involved and detailed than what he had counted on. But I brought it home and I thought it was all finished, but found out the refrigerator wasn't working correctly. And so we started checking on it, and it would start beeping. And it was one of those, what they call absorption refrigerators, and it was made by Dometic. It was a very good one. It was an upright, a 2-door. And so I noticed when I come home, you know, I had it over to the van over to my brother's house, and we were doing some work on it, and it started beeping, and we weren't sure. And my niece checked it out. She lives in an RV, and she said, well, it's wanting gas. And I said, well, he said he didn't hook it to the gas line, that it would just run totally on electric from the battery power. I have solar. And so I wasn't sure what was going on with it, so I brought it back to my house and I plugged it into shore power, thinking, well, maybe the batteries were not enough. I didn't have enough power stored in my batteries to run it. But I knew it still showed like 12.7, and a full load is a little over 13 in my van. So, you know, it started cooling, and I thought, oh, that's the problem. I'm going to have to get another battery. So it started cooling, and they say the freezer cools first, and then the refrigerator cools. So the freezer was cooling, and I was really happy. So I just locked the van up, left it plugged in, and went in and went to bed. So the next morning I came out expecting it to be a beautiful freezer and refrigerator temperature, but the freezer temperature was like 42 degrees, and the refrigerator part was 60-some degrees. And I thought, oh no, that's not going to work. So wasn't sure what was going on. So I took the van back down to the builder, and I said, you know, I said, this refrigerator doesn't work. I said, evidently what's happening, it's overheating. And I said, that's one problem, is shutting down when it overheats. And then I said, in another situation, I said, it's looking for gas. There's only 2 settings on there. In the button in the up position means gas only, and in the down position it means automatic, and it will decide whether it wants to have, you know, use gas or electric, so or battery power. So he said, well, you know, we don't hook these, we don't run the gas line to the refrigerator. And I said, well, why? I don't know why. And he said, well, we just want it to run on electric. And I said, it's not going to do that correctly. It's not designed to just run on electric. It wants to decide. And so, and I said, and it's overheating. And what it was, there's supposed to be 2 vents cut in behind a refrigerator like that, some for the intake and outtake of air to ventilate that properly. That hadn't been done. And he said, well, I didn't want to cut 2 more holes in your car. He calls it a car because he's used to working on funeral hearses, and that's just how they refer to them. And I said, well, I'd rather not, but I said, this refrigerator is not going to work. So I left it down there, and he was going to check into it. And when I come back home, just about that time, I read on Facebook where someone had an absorption refrigerator. So, and they, because of the hurricane at that time, they had to park that refrigerator on a hill. And so it was parked on that hill like 12 hours, something like that. And then when they went back down to level ground, it wouldn't work right. There was something wrong with it. Something about those absorption refrigerators. They don't have a compressor, but they have like an ammonia, whatever, and the coils of the refrigerator are on the inside of the refrigerator rather than on the outside like a compressor would be. So anyway, by that time, because he had paid, counting shipping, he had paid $1,400 for that refrigerator. Because like I said, it was a Dometic and it was a tall one. And so when I went back down there, and I said, I have to have something done because this is not going to work. And I said, and I heard that if those refrigerators are not level, they're not going to work properly, and they may just cut off for one thing, and then another thing, they said it could damage them. And I know some of the people on Facebook were telling this guy that had parked on a hill, they said, well, try taking it out and turn it upside down. And I thought, what? I thought, I don't want to be involved in something like that. So I told him, I said, he said, well, do you want me to go ahead and cut holes in your car and run a gas line? He says, we can do that. And I said, I really don't want that kind of refrigerator. I said, I want to boondock a lot, and I said it may not always be perfectly level where I park. I said, I'll, do the best I can, but I said I probably won't always have it on level. So I left it down there, and I waited 2 weeks. I left it down there like the 1st of November again, and I waited 2 weeks and talked to him, and he had not ordered anything yet. He said, I cannot find a refrigerator to fit in that opening that is in stock. He said, everything's back ordered because of this COVID stuff, and he said, it's difficult to get parts and whatever. And I said, well, did you check on Amazon? And he said, yes, I check every day. And I said, well, I saw a refrigerator there that is in stock, a Rec Pro, and it's a 10.7 cubic feet. It's a large one. And I said, they said it's in stock. And he said, well, that's too big for your opening, and I have a microwave above that refrigerator. And he said, it's too big. In fact, it was 5.5 inches taller than the one that was in there, and I think a 1/2 inch more narrow width-wise. So he said, well, if I put that in there, he said, you're not going to have a microwave. And I said, well, that's okay. That's on me. And I said, if I have a choice between having a refrigerator that works and, a microwave, I'll do without the microwave if I have to. So I keep my phone, my holder is going to have to be tightened up. It keeps slipping. So I apologize for that. I get looking at the road and I'm not paying attention what happens to the phone. So anyway, he said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and order it right now. So that was on November the 13th that he ordered it. And today is I want to say the 21st or 22nd, I don't know. Anyway, it's the Monday before Thanksgiving. I can't look at my phone for a calendar right now, but anyway, it's the Monday. Today is the Monday before Thanksgiving. So I don't know. I think he said it was going to be delivered between November something and December 4th, something like that, because I know even though they say they ship in 4 to 5 days, I know ready to go. I had part of the things put inside the van, but I've still got stuff in my dining room and in my office that needed to go in there. I've never had my van more than 4 or 5 days since I've had it. So I haven't had a chance to actually do everything that I wanted to do. So hopefully I can get that back, and if this COVID thing will straighten up and they get the vaccines going and everything, I would love to plan on going out west again this spring. I was talking to my brother on the phone last night, and I told him if things are okay, I said I would love to plan on taking off around the 1st of March and going out west, because it's warmer out there than it is here. So I think the weather will be pleasant, and I certainly don't want to wait until warmer weather here, because it's going to be hot there. So I don't want to do that. So that's kind of where we are now. The refrigerator, I hope, works well. We wanted a large refrigerator in this van rather than just the under-counter model, because it's, with this COVID and everything and traveling, I want to be able to pack plenty of food where I don't have to stop and buy groceries that often, or any kind of supplies. So I'm trying to have something to where we can have not only our shelf-stable foods, but also plenty of things in the refrigerator as well. So then while we're out in Arizona, I've got right now, I've got 4 100-watt panels of solar on the roof. Then I've got 2 Battle-Born batteries, and I've got room for 2 more. So when we're out there in Arizona, we're going to stop by that Arizona, I think it's called Arizona Wind and Sun, and they sell the Battle-Born batteries. I know I can get them off of Amazon, but my brother told me that since we're from Ohio and we're buying it out there, they don't charge us sales tax since we're out of state. So if I order them from Amazon, they're going to charge me sales tax. So since we're going to be out that way anyway, we thought we would just stop by. And my brother said that they will also make up the cables that he needs. He can hook it up himself, but he said he needs maybe to have them make the cables that he needs to hook them up in series. He said he knows a lot more about solar than I do. So I'm excited about that, because it said when we ordered the refrigerator, it said to properly run the refrigerator, it needed 2 batteries and at least 1 solar panel. Well, I've got 2 batteries and I've got 4 solar panels, so that part I'm okay. But what I wanted to do is have enough, if I want to do something else, make coffee or something like this, or use the toaster or whatever. I do have a gas cooktop, and I have a gas oven, so I'm okay on that part. But of course I've got the on-demand water heater and some things like that, and my water pump that will take electricity. So I thought, well, since I have room for the 2 more batteries, I'm just going to go ahead and get that. And that's going to be a lot better battery bank than what I've got right now, because we do plan on boondocking as much as we can. So we're well on our way, and I will let you know when we get to town and get close to the License Bureau, and I'll kind of take you along today, let you know what's going on, and hope you've enjoyed watching a little bit of the travels today. We're going out a country road, and it's which my favorite way to go. It's a little bit windy. When I have my dogs and taking them to the groomer, they sometimes get a little bit car sick, but other than that, it's kind of I really enjoy looking or seeing out in the country. So I'll be back real soon. Bye-bye. Coming into town, and we're just passing a funeral procession, and here in the South, we still stop and pull over whenever we meet a funeral procession, and just out of respect. So I'm glad to be in a part of the country that still respects our community members. So I'm coming in town and getting ready to head out toward the License Bureau. today. I was going to use my sunglasses, but I don't think I need them today. I'm almost out to the License Bureau, so I hope I don't have any problems because I have to get the title changed over, and I hope I can get all that done. I have my electronic release of my title, and so I called this morning, and it doesn't seem like there will be any problem. I guess I'll find out shortly because I need the license plate to be able to drive my van back home when he gets it finished, because my temporary tags have expired, and of course the extension till December the 1st is coming right up, and I don't want to start my RV experience with a ticket. So okay, here we are. Okay, I'll be back and let you know. Yay, I'm back in the car and I got it done, and I'm sweating like crazy. So hot under this mask, but I am so happy that I got my title changed from a cargo van to a motorhome, and then I got my license tag. So I am so happy to get that done. So it was a profitable trip. So okay, ready to hit the road. So happy to have that done. When I got my van, of course it was titled as a cargo van, and I had to pay a year's insurance in advance, and it was $1,199. I just about choked, and I said, you know, how much will it be once I get it licensed and have everything transferred over to an RV or a motorhome? And she said $389, and I said, dollars? And she said yes, and I said, oh my gosh. I said, why the big difference? And she said, well, if it stays a cargo van, she said you might use that to haul things or as a work van. And she said that once it's converted to an RV or a motorhome, she said you will not be driving it as much. And I said, well, that makes sense. So now when I get home, that's one of the first things I'm going to do is call the insurance company and have that switched over, and hopefully I'll get a good sized refund. So that's my trip up here this morning was well worth it, and I feel so relieved. And which you all probably knew this, and but you only get a back license plate now, not front and back, just a back license plate. I know some of the states already had that, but in Ohio we have always had a front and a back license plate. So now I have just a back license plate. I got one, of course, you know, my van is going to be called Gypsy Soul, and I found on Amazon, I found a license plate that I'm going to use in the front that just says Gypsy. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that way we'll remind us of her name. So I will talk to you again in a little bit when we get closer home. Oh my gosh, I just went past Speedway, and regular gasoline is $1.62 a gallon. Can you believe that? That is awesome. It seems like they kind of, I don't know, they do that to encourage you to travel around holidays or what, but boy, that's a wonderful price. I just thought of something else that I wanted to tell you. I had seen some of the places, you know, that it was harder, like, you know, on Facebook or something like that, or in YouTube videos, that it was kind of hard to get your title changed over from a cargo van to a mobile home. But I started, you know, here's my my title for a cargo van, and I had all this work done, and I had the invoice to show her what all had been done to the cargo van to convert it to a mobile home. And she said, I don't need to see any of that. She said, all you need to do is sign an affidavit that it has been changed over. And on the affidavit, I had to check, did it have a cooktop, did it have an oven, did it have a refrigerator, all the things like that it had. And I checked everything that was on there, except it had a dining table for two, and I do not have that because my twin beds are kind of like couch / beds. So we're just going to be able to sit on that, and then I'm going to have like a laptop tray because I don't have room for a table. But some places even said you had to go have your van weighed, to get it relicensed and all that, and they never said a word about it. So it was just really easy, and as soon as I finished with getting, I just had to sign, and she printed me off a new title. I had to pay, because all I had was a temporary title, and I had just paid the van off. So she charged me for a regular title, and then she charged me again for the new RV title. And so, but I was happy to pay that just to be able to get it. And then I just went over to the license window, the BMV window, and was able to get my license plate. So it was just easy, and I was all ready to, try to prove everything and all that, and they didn't even need that. So I just thought I'd tell you. Now that's in the state of Ohio, so I don't know. I'm sure there's differences in every state, but for Ohio, that's how it happened. So I will sign off for now, and thank you for being with me. Bye-bye.